Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to World War II Solitaire board game channel and another playthrough video. Today we're gonna be playing the Fields of Normandy, which is a book game and a roll and write game. We're gonna be playing the first mission, which is Secure the Woods #1. Briefly before we start playing, I just wanna tell you about what kind of actions we can do. So it's a really simple game. First of all, you're going to go ahead and place your units in the starting hexes marked with the black triangle, okay? And then we will have a few options of actions depending on what we roll. And those actions are going to be advance, where we can move one hex forward, never backwards. We can fire at an adjacent German unit. We can do a grenade attack, which is just the same as firing but with different stats. We can take cover, which will add 1 to our defense value, and we'll get onto that later. We can rally, which will raise our morale if we have been previously hit by a German. And we can scout, which will let us reveal one enemy position 2 hexes away from the unit that scouts. So anyway, we're gonna get into all of that. So first of all, I want to tell you that I don't use a pencil, I use minis. I have so many miniatures. But I mean, if you want to use a pencil, get one of these bad boys, because I mean, it's so simple. You write whatever you want to write lightly, and then when you're done, you just go ahead and erase it. Oh, actually, became a little bit of a mark. But and that's why I don't like to use the pencil. But you know, it's still, you can use it many times, or as the designer says, you can photocopy the game itself. Okay, so we're going to play Secure the Woods, a nice easy introductory mission to help you see how the game works. Remember, cover and flanking are your best friends. The German unit, which will be revealed, is in a woods hex and therefore receives a +1 defensive bonus when you try to fire at it. Okay, so we can see here that our squads are going to be, we're going to have Rifle Squad A. That's going to be represented by this British miniature from Company of Heroes. And then we're going to have Rifle Squad B. And that is also going to be represented by this brown miniature from Company of Heroes. Great miniatures in that game. And the enemy, our objective is to find the enemy and kill him. It might be a heavy machine gun, or it might be a light machine gun. Okay, so we have wood terrain, and that gives +1 to defense. We're going to get into how that works later on. Let me bring my dice tower into the frame here. Okay, so the way this works is we're gonna get to do actions for all of our units before we do the German activation. So it's the first turn, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark that by just putting this there instead of making little crosses. And I'm just briefly gonna see if I can adjust my lighting setup here to avoid some of these shadows which I'm seeing. Okay, that's all right. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna do first. We're gonna activate Rifle Squad A, which is the felt to the left, and we'll roll 2d6 to see what kind of orders that we can give. We roll 5 and 6, so we can choose to either fire and advance or advance and fire. I'm just gonna do one of those options. I'm gonna move advance here. I'm not gonna fire. And then I'm activating next fella. So I rolled a 1 and a 2. So 1 means I can rally or use a grenade, or I can advance and scout, or advance or scout. But I'm gonna do both. So if you do both, you have to start with the first column. So you couldn't, for example, scout and then advance. You have to do the first column first. So I choose my second d6, which is 2, and I advance, and then I go ahead and scout. Remember, to scout, you have to be 2 hexes away from the enemy. The enemy is indicated by the question mark here. So I am scouting now, and what we're going to do now is we're going to roll on this table to see if it's going to be a heavy machine gun or a light machine gun. It is going to be a light machine gun. We get a 4. So we go ahead and put a German mini there, who also has his own little machine gun. And when you scout, you get to decide where the enemy is facing. If you were if you were to discover the enemy by being adjacent, it's always going to face the enemy, the friendly which discovered that enemy. But since we scouted, we're allowed now to decide where he will face. Okay, so his fire arc has to be one of these three downward angles. You cannot choose for him to face upwards. So I will go ahead and face him to the left here. And that's going to be it. So that is my first turn. And the German, he can only fire at me if he is adjacent to me. So we're good there. So we go to our next turn. And again, we roll for the left guy first. Actually, I'm going to go roll for B first. So we roll 2d6. Okay, maybe this isn't an optimal place for my dice tower, but I got a 2 and a 3. Let's see if I can adjust it a little bit. Okay, so briefly, let's just, before we go into the orders of this soldier here, let's briefly discuss the fire arc. So the fire arc of the enemy is going to be the 3 downward angles. So the enemy can currently fire on this, and on this hex. So if my infantry were to advance here, he would not only be outside of the fire arc and would not be able to be targeted by the enemy, but he would also have a positive 1 die roll modifier because he is flanking the enemy when he's rolling for attack. So anyway, now that we got that out of the way, I got a 2 and a 3, so I can choose to advance and or scout, or advance and cover. So I'm going to go ahead and advance. And there's no real reason for me to do this other than that it's actually fun. But I'm going to use the cover. And the cover lets me put up a defense. So I got a little bit of sandbags here from Memoir 44. And that means the enemy will get a negative die roll modifier if he were to attack me. But in this case he cannot, because his fire arc is into these 3 hexes, and enemies cannot change their fire arc. Okay, we're rolling for the next guy. We roll a 4 and a 3. So we have advance and cover and fire and cover. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move into the woods. Advance with the 3. And then we're going to cover. So we're going to go ahead and use our defense here. Okay, so this time with the German activation, they are actually going to get a chance to fire. So this German, we can see here, he's a light machine gun. He needs a 6 or higher to hit. Although I am in a forest, so that's going to give me +1 in defense. And then my cover here gives me another +1. So instead of the 6, he actually needs an 8. You will roll 2d6. And he rolls a 7, so I'm good. If he would have hit me, I would have taken a hit to morale, and on the second hit, if I'm still haven't rallied, that another second enemy hit would eliminate that squad of soldiers. Okay, so we go to the third turn now, and we go ahead and roll first of all for my soldier here on the left side. And we roll 4 and 4. So be advised that if you roll a double number, you're allowed to re-roll 1 or both of the d6. However, I'm happy with this roll. Perhaps I could, let's see, I will fire at, I will hit at 8 + 1 because he's in the forest, so I need a 9, but then I need an 8 because I have fire support from this guy. So you're going to get a positive die roll modifier for all of the adjacent allies, which is also adjacent to the enemy which you're firing upon. So if this guy would have been standing here, I would not have gotten that fire bonus, but since he's adjacent to the enemy, I will get that fire bonus. However, I'm going to go ahead and try to reroll one of these and hope for a grenade. And I get a 6, so it's not a grenade, unfortunately. The grenades always hit on 6, no matter, there's not going to be any defense values, no bonus values from fire support and so on. However, I roll a 4, so I get a fire attack. And again, I need to roll an 8 to hit him. Or to kill him. And we roll a 3, so that is unfortunately failed. So we go to Rifle Squad B, and they also have to roll first to see what they actually can do. And we roll another double 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll one of these. And we roll a 3 with that one, advance and cover. So we're gonna use the 4 for fire and cover. Oh, actually, so we did get fire and cover. So I will put up a defense with him. And then this guy is gonna go ahead and fire at the German. He needs an 8. And we get an 11, sorry, well, yeah, 11. My mathematics is not my strong side. And we get an 11, and that means the enemy is effectively taken out. You guys can always take 2 hits, but the enemy can only take 1 hit. So that means we have effectively killed that enemy. If he would not have died, I could also have put up 1 more cover on my soldier. There are really good instructions in the book on how, let me show you that briefly, on how to draw all of this stuff. And I think when I'm traveling, I'm gonna bring this book with me, and I'm gonna be drawing. So this is how you should draw the different kind of machine guns and so on. And if your soldier takes a hit, you're gonna do a cross to show that he's low on morale. If they're taking cover, you're doing a line under them to indicate that that they're taking cover and so on. So there's very good ways to keep this fun, even without the minis. But like I said, I spent like, I don't know, $1,000 on minis, so I'm sure as hell gonna use them whenever I can. My friends, this is Mission 1, Security Woods, the Fields of Normandy. Quite an easy mission, but I think it's a very good starting mission. The next mission is gonna be Security Woods 2, and we're gonna do that playthrough as well. We're gonna do the whole book, I hope. I hope you liked the video, and if you have any question at all, let me know. I'm sure Mike is going to watch this video, and Mike, if you saw me do any bad stuff, any error, let us know, so I don't teach people the wrong way how to play this game. Well guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. See you next time.